Ambulance delays in Multnomah County worsen in the new year.
They're being tapped on at least 10 to 16 calls in 12 hours.
The situation intensifying during the latest winter storm, failing patients across the county.
I believe pending collapse is closer than most folks think.
Imagine calling for an ambulance only to wait a long time being put on hold for that life-saving ride. You don't have to imagine. The emergency medical system here in Multnomah County is in an absolute crisis. We sent Elise Haas to sit down with the one leader who has the executive power to address this problem head on.
And Elise is here now live in studio with this special report. Elise.
So the crisis that we're in right now is that AMR is short nearly 60 paramedics, resulting in dangerously slow response time. Sometimes no ambulances at all while the burnout among first responders continues with no immediate relief in sight. Multnomah County Chair Jessica Vega-Peterson says her priority is to take the action needed to ensure paramedics get to your life-threatening emergencies within 8 minutes, 90% of the time. But that hasn't happened for nearly 2 years. AMR ambulances are only getting to calls fast enough 60% of the time. Recently, patients have been transported in TriMet buses, fire engines, fire SUVs, and police cars because the nearest available ambulance was a dangerous distance away. So Multnomah County has given you a lot of suggestions for how to fix your response time problems. What are your reactions to their suggestions?
Well, I mean, we want to turn over every stone. We want to make every effort to try everything we can try, but I think we're at the point now, and we're confident we're at the point now, where there really is only one pathway forward to sustainability in EMS in Multnomah County.
And what is that?
That's going to be going to half of our total deployment being paramedic and EMT rather than dual paramedic.
Down 6 paramedics, AMR operations manager Rob McDonald finds it impossible to maintain the dual paramedic requirement right now. Multnomah County has stuck to a 2 paramedic system for decades to boost cardiac arrest survival rates. The national and state norm is 1 paramedic and 1 EMT per ambulance, also known as a 1-1 model. If the Multnomah County chair authorized the switch for half of the ambulance to become 1 paramedic and 1 EMT, AMR says they could have 6 more ambulances out every day and be fully staffed in a few months. And if Multnomah County agreed to temporarily switch to 1-1, are you guys open to also just doing it on a temporary basis to work back up to a dual paramedic system, which Multnomah County has made it pretty clear that they want to keep?
Yeah, absolutely. We want this to be temporary too. We're not trying to completely redesign the system on a permanent basis. What we're really trying to do is just survive. And without this move, I don't know that the EMS system will survive this year.
But Multnomah County Chair Jessica Vega-Peterson doesn't see it that way. She says she's not interested in temporary changes.
It is on AMR to be able to staff up and to provide the services that they've contracted to do to be our EMS provider.
Vega-Peterson blames the fire department, the local and national paramedic shortage, and the ambulance contractor for falling short.
I think that we shouldn't have to be coercing AMR to do anything. They are a business. They are a for-profit business who operate nationwide, who is contractually obligated to provide the services, right? They get paid by the service fees that they're able to charge to people when they do this.
Historically, AMR says they have been profitable in Multnomah County. I got a look at the books. Public records show AMR's margins are dropping here post-pandemic. In 2018, they closed with $2.3 million in profit. But in 2022, their annual statements revealed less than $300,000 in profit. McDonald said the main reason they ended last year in the green was because they were so short-staffed, they didn't have people to pay.
This system is in critical condition. And the inactivity is so disconcerting because this isn't something that's going to get bad in a month or 2 months. It's bad now, and it could get so much worse in the coming months.
While paramedics, firefighters, and dispatchers work desperately to keep the system working, the county chair talks about pilot projects and studies. I'm just trying to figure out what at the county level you're going to do, because we can't be using TriMet buses and fire engines when people are having strokes or chest pain.
We are at the point where we have to take a look at the entire system and really seeing what's going to be a good long-term solution.
Even the county's own EMS medical director recognizes the county's 2-paramedic model is failing. January 1st, he authorized ambulances from neighboring counties staffed with 1 paramedic and 1 EMT to transport patients with life-threatening emergencies when a 2-paramedic AMR ambulance in Multnomah County is delayed by 5 minutes or more. During the ice storm, those delays were measured in hours. At the height of the storm, there were only 5 ambulances covering the entire county of more than 800,000 people. Fully staffed, there would have been 16 ambulances. In the current state that we're in right now, what do you want to say to those patients and the families who have received a bill from your company but may have waited more than 15 minutes for an ambulance to respond to their life-threatening emergency?
Only that AMR as an organization has done everything they possibly can to educate the medical program director, to educate the county chair, that the only path forward to sustainability is to convert to our deployment of 1-to-1.
County leadership hasn't presented any evidence that the 2-paramedic staffing model offers any benefits when response times are delayed. It's hard for people who, are making these 911 calls and just, see the arguments going back and forth and aren't getting the response times that they so desperately need.
I understand the frustration, I understand the concern and the worry that people have if they're calling 911, if they need help and they're not able to get an ambulance there and they're not able to get a transport that they need. That is that is a system that is not working.
After sitting down with leadership, I can say collaboration isn't in sight. If you call 911, your emergency may be put on hold.
Is it any narcotics or controlled?
And it was just last week that Portland's interim fire chief wrote a letter urging Chair Vega Peterson to switch to the 1 paramedic, 1 EMT model, because he says that the community's lives are at risk. And to be clear, AMR is asking to only just have half of their fleet go from 1 paramedic and 1 EMT.
Okay, they mentioned the 1-to-1 model. That's where we have a paramedic and an EMT.
Yes.
That's what the county is refusing to do it. They did do a pilot program. Did they do that?
Yeah, so they did do a pilot program. They started that last year, and that was having 2 EMTs on an ambulance, but it didn't work. Jessica Vega Peterson claims it's because AMR was unable to get enough EMTs for it. But when I talked to EMTs, AMR and the union, they say that job opportunity is not attractive. The EMTs really want to work on the front lines. They want to move on in their career. So they're going to other neighboring counties like Washington or Clackamas that staff it with 1 paramedic and 1 EMT so they can get that experience.
We talk about when it comes to local government, sometimes in Portland, especially you're seeing with Multnomah County, analysis paralysis. They talk about things. There's something going on. This is a critical emergency.
People are getting hurt right now.
Are dying. Mm-hmm. And we're still talking about, we don't know what we know. There needs to be urgent action on this.
There definitely does, and so far we haven't seen any of that.
Elise, thank you once again. Not one, but 2 incredible reports tonight. And we want you to know that our look into Multnomah County's emergency response problems, this is just getting started. Next week, Elise digs into the challenges in Portland's 911 system. And of course, you can catch her full reports anytime at KOIN.com.